Okay, so this is an Ahri versus Irelia, you said. Okay. You start the
Yes.
stream for you. Not that.
Is there a way I can watch the stream from my PC but talk through my phone? I don't think I can connect like that.
I think there is. I'm not sure. Um, that should work. But I mean, like I've done reviews with Tim on my phone just watching and whatnot, and the audio playback doesn't pop up on any of the VODs, so or any of that. Um, so I mean, if you can watch it on your phone, I don't think that's that big of a deal unless um, you don't want to do it that way.
I can, I just wanted a bigger screen, but it looks like it doesn't work, so it's fine.
All right.
I'm watching.
Okay. So I haven't talked with you before. What do you go by? What can I call you?
You can call me
H
Reborn.
Reborn. Okay. All right. So we got Ari versus Aurelia. What was your problems with this game? Why did you want to have this VOD reviewed?
It it kind of fell apart from the, I guess, it was a 15-minute game. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something happening bot lane that I didn't know what I could have done. So
hmm This is in gold or is
yeah,
this
it's
like
in gold.
okay, cool. So first off, I don't know how much you know about Aurelia, but she's already making a big mistake here, and that we can punish it. Aurelia doesn't want to shove the wave, and what she wants to do is she wants to queue these three and queue onto you most of the time. That's going to be a common trading pattern. Or if she feels threatened by you, she can start E and just last hit all these three from range. What she's doing is she's auto attacking this one, so it forces her when you do the right thing here, but it forces her to go up to that. Now, what I would have preferred you do is get an extra auto in, because you can auto her as soon as she gets there, and you can chase and auto again. Because that next you don't know this because it's early as specific, but that minion's barely not enough to die. But I do love that we traded into her, so that's good. We can get another auto
Hmm.
there. We can get another auto there. What I do versus her is basically I know she's going to go for that, so I like try and time. Even if she's not there yet, I try and like have my cursor right there when she's about to go, because it's really hard. It's really hard to hit that because she moves so fast and actually click her. I have a tough time with that myself, so I don't blame you. But I don't like these autos. We can keep the wave here. Those three minions aren't gonna do anything yet. It's not terrible. Fair enough. We could be playing way more aggressive there. We could we could auto W auto here and get a Q through the minion wave to stop it from crashing as much instead of using our W to get these last hits. Um, Poking Aurelia down is a lot more valuable than getting a couple minions, in my opinion, in this lane, because you want to reduce her all-in potential as much as possible.
Okay.
We could Q here, but if we do Q, we have to make sure we don't hit the minions. Yeah. If we had our mental stack freed up a little bit more, which I understand that we don't because it's an intense lane, and we could have pinged Zen off a little bit earlier here because we don't have charm, or we could have been like, hey, I need. How did we not have charm?
I was only level 2.
Did we miss experience somewhere? That's so tragic. Zin takes half of this.
How does that happen?
Zin takes that experience. So we're supposed to hit level 3 off the second melee minion dying here, which is why I'm so confused. But Xin Zhao took our experience here. That's so bullshit.
So he can take the experience by standing near it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was pinging
So
back there because I knew if she's running into the river, then jungler's probably waiting there.
we definitely could have mechanically played this a lot better. Like we don't have to cast Charm there. We can just keep walking. Because she can't get up. And then when she flashes onto us, we flash Charm. And then hit our Q, get 2 autos off, maybe we kill her. But I don't blame you. It's, you know, micro stuff. You did the right thing, just in the wrong order. Holding your Charm here is kind of important though. But yeah, this is really just like unlucky in my opinion that happened that way. It's because if I were playing back here, like I would have made the exact same mistake. I would have actually like pinged him to come, and then this dies, and I'm like, wait a minute, or which dies? Like I would have been pinging him to gank because I'm like, oh, I'm about to hit, and maybe I wouldn't have been paying attention to my bar. And I'm like, I would have been walking up like in Aurelia's face here, and then I wouldn't hit level 3, and I'd be really sad. So, this is just a very unlucky, unfortunate scenario.
Okay.
Let's look at the reset. Yeah, it's a good reset. It's on a cannon. We get Amped Tome, which is fine. Anton really likes this.
This is confusing.
Oh.
Why did she
How
not
many
run away?
how many games on Ahri are we?
22.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. So we could have ideally we could land charm. We can't even. We could land charm right here. But there's no place other than that we could land charm.
I think I try to go for that, but the minions walked into the way. I have a smart cast on, so it's not fast.
Sure. And we gotta get this crashed. I would have liked us to have pinged ours in to help push this. Or even better, we just reset right here. We don't need to push this. Now, this is a good reset because it's 4 minutes 30-ish. It's not quite 5 minutes yet, which means we can still use this TP and have it empowered at 10 minutes, approximately. So as long as you're TPing back to lane before 10 minutes, I'm generally okay using. Before 5 minutes, I'm generally okay using this. Otherwise, I'm really not, personally. You could definitely use it in circumstances where you need to get like farm or you've taken a really bad trade, but like that's a reference point that I have on Ahri. It's a slightly earlier reference point, and most champions I play mid lane that I want to use this before 5 minutes to do something, whether I heavy trade and get some sort of advantage with my TP and come back, or I just use it to get a good reset. So I like holding this here because if you look at the wave state, it's gonna come into us, and it gives us enough time to back because Irelia is dead for 9 seconds. TP take backing takes 8 seconds, I believe. So we back, we TP back, buy items. This wave will not crash within that time frame, and we can still freeze this wave here. If we push this wave, one, Ivern can come and try and freeze it, and that fucks us. Two, if we do just successfully push it in and Ivern isn't there, the wave just meets in the middle, which isn't what we want.
Okay.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the base is really bad there, so I don't necessarily blame you. But now I'm inclined to like try and stay till Lost Chapter, which feels really bad. And I wouldn't be trying to harass Ivern here at all. I'd just be focused on getting the wave in. Like that Q's really bad. You want to just get the wave in. That's
What is it about staying for a lost chapter that feels bad?
because this happens. Because I know we don't
What
have
is
enough
that?
gold yet. It's 1100. Well, I guess we do have just enough gold. If Ivern like plays a little bit more aggressively here, maybe. I just feel. So first off, I don't know where Alistar is. Looks like they just got a reset, and he could be coming mid, right here. So we could get ganked by Alistar and Ivern. Enough of that lockdown would allow Irelia to catch up to us and potentially have us die. It's just a very, like, you get it, you do get it, but it's risky.
Okay.
I would
I
probably
think
TP
I
back.
would
Oh no, it's a cannon. I wouldn't TP. Anyways, what were you gonna say?
maybe asking Zane to help me push in the wave then.
Yeah, that's probably the best call, because that way you can get your last chapter. Pretty good pings. A little late, but we do the pings. At least we do them. They are actually pretty late. We could have. This is a very lazy queue. Take our time to just make sure that we hit all of them to get the wave in faster. Because if we did that, if we got the wave in faster, we could either go for the plate or we could hover down here and block Irelia from coming back because she doesn't have ult, and without minions, it's really hard for her to actually fight us.
But if she presses Q onto me, then she has higher
You
movement
charm it.
speed, so
You charm her Q.
oh,
And then she stops midway.
okay.
But it's the option. I think you made the right option. If we would have pushed a little bit faster, then maybe we could have gotten the plate. We're absorbing pressure in kind of a little bit of an awkward state with this lane, but you know, this happens. Yeah. The charm is unnecessary, I think. I understand why you did it. Well, maybe it's necessary. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine charm, actually. So one thing to think about right here, we are backing, so technically our mental stack's freed up. We should kind of know what we want to buy, being able to think about that. And in situations like this, I like to think that what does Irelia want to do right now? Which we do. Okay, we do actually ping. Okay, that's great. That's excellent. I would have thought also that Irelia was going top lane, and I would have done the same pings.
I just thought bot had vision, and then top is also pushed in, so
Yeah.
better ping top.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be
There's
holding
no way you
RTP.
don't go Dark Seal here, by the way.
Oh, I've not been going Dark Seal because I die too much.
You should go to every game on Ahri.
I disagree.
Like, dying is a separate issue.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably get Dark Seal here, actually, yeah. Like,
I
if the
would just
game.
get it every game.
Well, you're not going to get it into a Rengar Lissandra.
I mean, I would.
You shouldn't.
Chovy would. Like it. What?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just so unreliable that you survive versus, like, a Rengar if he's, like, reasonably fed. That's unfortunate. So, anyways, yeah, Dark Seal is fine. I would get it this game. Why don't we TP bot lane right now? This is so good if we TP bot lane. Like if we would have TP'd bot lane here, right here, right as they walk forward a little bit there, Caitlyn's baiting. The Thresh can lantern the Caitlyn, and then they're kind of stuck behind tower, and it's a 4v3. That gets us. That's a huge play that gets us in this game. Plus, we see Ivern top lane. I think that's a big missed opportunity because you have to help your bot lane get back to the lane. You can't, as when you're playing Ahri, you got to remember that you can't win the game by yourself, so you have to make a win con. And that's an opportunity to help one of your potential win cons become a win con.
Okay.
But it's likely that they reset. We got Prio in mid lane. We do the dragon. It's a little risky, but I think it's fine. Got good vision on blue side. Thanks to Thresh. We reached our break point. We're one-shotting the wave. This is good. This is what we want. So what could we have done better here?
I don't know.
So what we could have done is all we do is we R. I like this R. I think that's fantastic. Get ourselves into the play as soon as possible. We R here. He flashes. We don't need to throw Q. And then we Q. Then we come over with a W, and we Q there. And then he's like at 50 HP.
Oh.
It ends up working out. But there's some like I got a feeling that maybe in other games you're throwing like EQ before the E even hits. Maybe. That's just a red flag to me that might be something that you're doing. So I would highly recommend that you just wait and see if the E hits and then throw your Q. Because the Q is a lot of mana, first off, to be throwing away, as well as if the charm hits, you will have enough time to react and hit your Q.
So what's the combo for that? Do I start with W or EWQ or EQW?
It depends. In this situation, what I would do, I love the R. I would RW here. I wouldn't even charm. If he flashes here, great. If he doesn't, I'm just trying to make him panic. If I see him walk over to the plant, maybe I try and charm then, because then he's not in flash range to get over the wall. But I just hold my charm there, because there's no place. Where can he go? He can't go anywhere. Except for over the wall. There's no rush to kill him. So
if I'm in a bush camp situation, then I can just start with E, but otherwise, as a rule of thumb, holding charm to make them panic when you're out in the open is good.
Yeah. For instance, let's do this for a second. Let's say you have your champion right here that you're trying to hit. They walk up, right? So you walk up, right? If you're in range, ignore the minions. Ignore the minions. You're in range of hitting your charm. Okay? So if he's sitting here and you're sitting here, no minions in this lane, if you just walk at him, he's going to like zigzag back and forth to try and preemptively dodge your charm. So you're going to get closer and closer and closer to him, especially with your W movement speed, right? So you're going to eventually get close enough that he's not going to be able to react to you charming. Plus, by doing this, you could panic flash, right? And then it's really easy to hit your charm.
I see. I'll try that.
It's super good. I highly recommend just like watching some higher level VODs on the MLA or watching some Chovy games or something like that. Just see how he holds charm, especially like if you look at the Ahri guide that Coach put out,
Yeah,
his
I watched it. He did a review where he
of
did use charm in lane.
yeah, exactly. You basically holding charm, the threat of an ability is sometimes so much more threatening than the ability itself. Because I honestly don't think he flashed before you even threw your charm out. See what I mean? He didn't
Yeah,
react to this. He preemptively flashed.
yeah.
So all you'd have to do is if you saved your Q and your E, you come over and then you flash EQ him and he dies.
Okay.
Other than that, it worked out. I mean, it's a 3v2. You gotta be careful of Irelia, who completely whiffs her ult. I would drop a ward here because you could sit here for a second and try and kill her. Because if you layer Cassio's W with your E, you can just kill her.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Plus, it's just good to get deep vision like that. But I like that we stay and go back to mid lane, get the cannon. We're super close to our mythic. Which, by the way, do you go Ludens every game or do you vary it up?
I'm always going Ludens because in Coach Curtis's RE guide, he said to try that playstyle first because it has the most basic reference points to learn from.
Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely the most reliable, simplest build that most of the time works. I was just curious.
Yeah, I do
So
like
I won't go
Everfrost
into
though,
any of
so
that. Okay. I wouldn't go. I wasn't gonna go. I won't go into any like build specifics as to why. As to. So you do go Everfrost though. You said.
no, I mean I tried it one game. I liked it. So once I get past this learning phase, I might switch it to that.
Okay. Um, do you want? I don't want to give you too much information overload. Do you know what you want me to explain? What build I would go this game? Or no?
Um,
No,
what
we'll leave it.
champions do they have again?
So they have a Trendamir, an
Trinamir.
Irelia, and a Ivern, and then their bot lane is Alistar, Samira.
Oh, maybe Leandre's would be good because of the tanks.
No, I think
Which
Leandris
build
is
would
the
you go?
worst build. So I would go Everfrost 100% here. So first off, you've got this guy and this guy. You lock them down, they get fucked, right? Caitlyn can trap, Thresh can hook, Cassiopeia can freeze them up with her W. If these guys stay still, they just die. Secondly, you've got this situation, right? Everfrost actually goes through Samira's wind wall,
Oh,
and she's a very melee ADC. So she's going to block all of your bursts with Ludens. It's going to feel really bad, but you could lock her up with the Everfrost.
does it also go through Yasuo as well?
Yes, it does.
Nice.
I always go Everfrost when I play into Yasuo for that reason. Then if you look at your team comp, right, you've got Pick, and that's your only real reliable engage. You need to be the engage this game. You need to go in Everfrost and help Thresh get picks. And Caitlyn follows up with her traps. You have so much damage already. You don't need more. All you have to do is lock these guys down and they die.
Makes sense. That's well, Ahri doesn't have the best damage. in any case, so
Mhm.
that's her part of her identity, isn't it?
Yeah, but
To
sometimes I'll go Ludens
catch
in
people.
games where I'm the solo AP, and I have engage. So like if I had a more reliable engage like a Nautilus bot lane and maybe some bruiser top lane like Camille or something, then that actually has decent engage, then I'd probably go Ludens this game. If there was a different mid laner, like if there's a mage mid laner, then I might, and not Samira, then I could potentially go Ludens this game because we don't need the engage and we can just do more damage. Right, so it's completely different.
I see how you're thinking about the builds now.
Yeah.
You're filling in whatever needs to complement your team composition.
Exactly. And if it was like, if it's tank v tank, like some low threat early game junglers, control mage, low damage ADC, that's a Leandre's game.
Okay.
Leandre's is for when you're going to get to 2 items and you have a low damage ADC. And you already have,
Okay.
if you already have all the jobs check boxed off on your team besides damage. That's why I love Ahri so much, because she's such a flexible champion. She can fulfill every role in a team comp to a decent degree.
Yes.
I love this room. We recognize that the play is going to happen bot lane. We try our best to get there in time. I don't think we leave before the play is dead, like, because we couldn't see that the play is dead in time. Like, at this point, like, kind of hard to say. I probably would have kept walking the whole time too, because like the minion wave's so low. I don't know. It's tough to think that they could actually dive this Xin here and actually get out because of the Thresh Lantern and Xin's ult.
And with the Ivern shield and the Daisy and the Alistar and Irelia, like they have an insane amount of dive
Yeah,
here.
we do charm the Daisy, which is really bad.
So how should I play this moment then?
Well, I keep walking until this point, and then like I keep walking here, and now I'd just walk away. I wouldn't even.
Once they die.
Yeah. Like if Thresh, like I'm thinking, oh man, if Thresh throws his lantern a little bit better, maybe here I walk away, but maybe there's a Daisy knockup that I probably wouldn't have seen. But like if he could get to that lantern, then like the play could get extended and you could actually do something and things would be fine. But the moment he dies, you just walk away. If we were to play this, R, E, combo, try and one-shot her. And then get out. It's really hard because he's tanking. That's why it's like, you can't go for this. Alistar has ult up and he's tanking.
I'm also not sure that one-shots her.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident it does, although the Alistar exhaust would fuck us. But I would have thought that they would have used that earlier. I 100% think that one-shots her. Because what I would be doing is I would be coming into this play assuming a couple things. I would have assumed she used Windwall, and I would have assumed he used exhaust. And we see his E here, so we know she should die if we hit charm. That's how I view it. Now, I don't know if we could have gathered all that information from back here, right? Like,
it's very hard to track all those cooldowns.
Yeah, it is. So actually,
I think she
has Windwall up. Actually, but yeah. It's one of those things where you just like, I respect trying, but you gotta hold your charm. I think that because if the Alistar gets hit there, then you could save your charm for that, and you can kill the Alistar. But really rushing your charm is the problem there. I think being there in the first place isn't a good idea. But yeah. Yeah, this is... Why did we come down here in the first place?
Well, bot tower fell, and they're just gonna die if they stay bot.
There's no
So I
wave.
wanted Caitlyn to go mid.
I agree. I 100% agree. But she's here. She can shove this wave out. She can shove this wave out one more time, right? And then we go mid lane. We just go until she's ready to come. There's no like it's genuinely correct for this to happen, for you to go bot lane and her to go there, but you have to adapt. It's not what's going on. You're gonna miss that massive wave mid lane, and you're playing right into them. You have no R. It looks like now you're making your team think you want to make a play, and you're overforcing. You just gave Irelia a whole plate mid. You baited your team into going by being down here. Yeah. I'm not defending Caitlyn walking up like that, but I'm trying to give us some accountability here and why it might have happened, what might have been going through their mind. Now, Caitlyn should obviously have gone mid here. Did we ping her to go mid?
Didn't see her coming onto the map.
Oh, we needed to ping her to go mid. And we waste ult again. Greedy back makes us waste ult. That charm is very unnecessary. Cause what, like, think about, like, charm, you need to think about, what do I get from this charm? Right? There's no one to follow up here. You're not saving yourself. You're already out. You have another ult charge you can do. Right? Just hold it. There's no reason to charm there. Because
To be honest,
maybe if they walk up, right? Maybe if they get scared here, and they're like, oh, he still has charm. Maybe you could like posture, like right here, and be like, hey, I have charm. I dare you to walk up. You know?
okay.
But if you don't have charm, he's just gonna be like, oh, fuck you, I'm gonna kill them. Right? Yeah. Are you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a habit of trying to use charm for fun because I want to practice my skill shot accuracy because I'm near the champion, so
Sure. If that's a goal of just hitting it, fine. I respect that. But keep in mind, sometimes not hitting or not even using our charm is better than using our charm. And you need to get good at that too.
yeah,
And what'll come along even further in your journey, I think this is part of like the 1 to 40 games, right? Once you get to like 80 plus, that's when we start like holding our Q. And doing the same thing with charm with Q. Because holding your Q is also super threatening. Especially in lane. Now, I don't think your Qs were actually that bad this game, necessarily. We could have used them a little bit better. But considering how new we are on the champion, it's not something I think you should even think about or focus on at this time. I just wanted to mention it.
Okay, sure.
And that's so sad. Why do we hit yes?
It just seemed kind of doomed when they could tower dive us 4v4 and nobody when their team dies. Just seems so one-sided.
I'd like to point out a couple things. Once I can see.
Also, Caitlyn was
Yeah, I
seemed
get it.
tilted.
I get it. And I understand if you want to get out of the game, you want to get out of the game. But I'd like to point out, look at how shit they are at taking towers. Your top laner is winning. Trendamir will never take towers in a split push. All it takes is one charm to a thresh hook, and you fucking get this, and the game turns.
I didn't think of it that way, but yeah. So playing with the CC on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, imagine
Okay.
if Caitlyn gets these. Imagine if Cassiopeia gets those. She'll be able to 1v3. This game doesn't look doomed at all to me. Like, yeah, it's a really fucking tough game. But by no means is it over. This guy's melee, this guy's melee, this is essentially melee, enchanter. That's basically melee. All these champions are melee. They all have to walk into a Cassiopeia, Xin Zhao, Ahri, Caitlyn, Thresh. You shit on them.
Interesting.
All it takes is like, I would understand if you FF'd, like, if you were really tilted. I understand that. But from a mindset in this game, I give it one 5v5. Right? Just try it. What's the worst that happens? You learn some things. You get some more practice hitting your charm. Right? If you're not tilted from these games, right? It's one thing if you're tilted and you need to get out. I understand. But if we're not tilted, what do we lose from trying?
Time.
How much time? Is 5 to
20
10 minutes worth your time? If this game's over, if this game's dead, it's going to be 5 to 10 minutes, man. If that.
Okay, it's not like I'm gonna play any extra games in my block anyway, so I'll just play it out.
Exactly. Exactly. You lose 5 to 10 minutes of your time to play out a game.
So yeah, I think I wasn't tilted, but I genuinely didn't think we could win. So that's something new I learned about how your perspective on the game is.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about or ask me or review in this VOD that I didn't cover?
Do you have time for another thought?
Yeah, sure.
Can I actually jump in? I was taking notes, if that's okay.
Oh, sure. Go
You
ahead.
were taking notes.
Dude, I'll read out a few, right?
Yeah, sure.
But it's mostly stuff that like you didn't mention that I want to run by you.
Sure.
Type of notes, you know what I mean?
Sure. If you've got timestamps or anything like that, we can jump
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
I did timestamps not on like the YouTube because I couldn't see it, but I did it by the VOD.
That's
the top
fine.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. First, I'll start from the like. I'll keep this like less than 5 minutes. The first wave. I know we took first strike, but shouldn't our intention be to look for W trade, especially if she's like altered, like before she's even altered that minion, like a bit before? Shouldn't we be posturing up on her? Like I don't like the fact that she gets that auto attack without auto W. Like why are we? Like when I play Ahri, don't you walk out with the melees 9 times out of 10, and you look for the
100%. We should be on the wave right now. But one thing, it's a little bit dangerous to walk like at Irelia like early, kind of, because she could get the triple Q, right? And then Q onto us, and then we like go to 20% HP and we cry. But given what Irelia did was make this minion so low, she kind of fucked up that strategy for herself, which is why I said that we should be autoing here, Wing and autoing again. With Irelia, it's like I also don't want to like be walking up aggressively at Irelia early. Let me back up a little bit. Hold on. With Irelia specifically, I don't like in a lot of matchups you'll see where the fuck is my you'll see us like stand here and kind of go auto W auto, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that into Irelia specifically because of this, right? I also don't want to drag the aggro of these minions and have this wave push this way. All I want to do is prevent Irelia from all-inning us using these 3 melees and then hold the wave here. Because if she does her triple Q strategy on these 3 melees, the wave will push to us, and that's my goal.
That's her uptime. Yeah, for sure. Like
If
I
you-
actually meant like 1 minute, like as the wave's coming out, like before they even headbutt each other, like in the mid, shouldn't we be walking up with the melees? So if she does walk up, we auto W and get like that poke, and then we get that, electrocute or first strike.
Yeah,
Even
100%.
before, like I'm talking. Yeah. Like
We-
I personally, I don't like standing around the corner, letting the wave crash, then coming out. I feel like we've lost trading opportunity because
I
level
100%
1.
hate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
When she autoed that, we definitely could have gone for auto W auto, right? We definitely.
No, I mean like that, but also like even before, like I'm talking as the wave, like this time that we were standing around the corner, even before then, like now we should be, like as
you want to
I'm
be
talking
here.
now, like we should be walking along
You want to be here right now.
a little bit, but like a little bit further back in case, like I don't know
But
if
if-
like jungle or whatever, but like I
But
have
if you
no
attack
fear of
her,
Irelia, and we have like REW.
But if you attack her here, then wouldn't the wave push out into her?
Yeah, that's my point. So like, it's personal preference, right? You can play the lane however you want.
Okay, yeah.
But personally, I don't like interacting with Irelia to make sure that the minions keep hitting each other until she does her triple Q combo.
Okay.
Personally.
No,
Now,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
If your goal is to do a 2-stack or a 3-stack into a bounce, which is completely viable, as long as you avoid this, fine. Play the lane that way. I think that's completely viable. But I personally really prefer letting her get that and just guaranteeing that it shoves into me.
It's safer. I think it's more
it's more
slower
consistent.
Rest. Yeah. Okay.
Also, so you said because in this unique case where she attacked a minion, I can auto
Yeah, you can fuck with her
auto.
right now. Fuck with her right now. She gave
So-
up her
so-
advantage.
Her queuing onto me directly doesn't matter because she wouldn't have the stacks, right?
Yes. I'd say if she got 2
Okay.
stacks, we'd be scared. Because then she gets 3 onto us. But with 1 stack, we got these minions, man. These minions gonna shit on her.
Okay.
I think we're cool. It's you'd have to heavy trade, you'd have to pop a pot. But keep in mind Irelia, like if she loses half her HP and has to blow her pots and takes a little bit more poke. Like our goal in this lane is to use our pots to safely poke her out. Like we can use these pots to take like 1 bad all in. Whenever we choose to take that 1 bad all in is up to us.
Okay.
Alright. What's next?
220. We're not matching autos, and I think that's why, like, I think this is kind of like why we're stuck under tower for so long. But the wave is like, we want to freeze the wave, and like even because we use W, she's able to walk up. She's not scared of us because she's just seen us use W. I feel like we're missing a lot of like W poke in the early lane.
Definitely.
And yeah, I feel like we should have like to me it's illegal that she's hitting the wave so much. And I feel like if we were Wing a lot more, it would maintain our freeze and she wouldn't be able to like get it under tower because the way in my opinion, Aurelia's chose to like keep pushing it under our tower over and over and over.
Like
And I
right
don't
right
think
here.
that yeah.
I think I mentioned this before. Right here, we want to do a walk up with our walk up auto W auto Q right here, and we Q through these to make the wave kind of stay neutral. I don't think we need to be matching auto for auto. I just think we need to take the trade that we're given right here, and we don't take the trade we're given. And I would say sack these two. Fuck that. Fuck that. Who cares? Trade her. Trade on her while we're safe. She can't trade back. I value trading in this matchup more than getting those that two farm there.
I agree. I think I think that would have definitely like affected the lane like so much more. Like we could have juiced it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because
I think that's
because
like
we didn't take
into
that,
assassins you have to think
because
that.
we didn't walk up there and the minions like actually got under tower. That's how this wave ended up pushing back. What was next?
I feel like we weren't like I know Xin Zhao was coming in, but he's like an early gank, right? He can gank like from level 2. And I think that we should have like it didn't look like we had like pre-intention for him to like come up and gank. It kind of like caught us off guard is what it looks like.
I mean, this whole situation is very caught us off guard. Like we talked about this quite a lot earlier. The problem is when this dies right here,
EXP, yeah.
We're supposed to get level 2, but we don't. And I think Xin knows this too. He's like, why are we level 2? He's used to like whoever has like what at this point the laner should be hitting 3. He probably doesn't know exactly when, but I'm sure he's incredibly confused given the wave state being even as to why she is 3 and we are 2. Like that doesn't make any sense. And yes, like we could have been more primed for the gank, but the gank's a bad decision anyways, because unfortunately he took our farm. I think this is just incredibly unlucky. I don't think I would have noticed it. I don't think anyone except for like a Masters player would have necessarily noticed this.
Yeah, the XP is like it's pretty crazy.
Maybe someone on High Diamond would have noticed, like if you're like actively paying attention to your experience bar, but I genuinely think that this is unlucky.
For me, I think like it's the gank itself. I'm not talking about the XP, but like the gank itself. It looked like we weren't postured up, like we weren't even like it looked like it caught us off guard, like just the gank coming in, which I feel like it shouldn't because of like Xin Zhao's identity, right?
Yeah, but that's more of a plat thing. I'm not worried about that at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's not that big of a deal. You are right, but I don't think it's the reason he's in gold.
I get you. And then I'll skip a little bit to 7:10 and like 7:40 and 8 minutes. I would call these like bad queues because we're not like fully queuing the wave.
Yeah, and, I think I mentioned some of this, like where we could have.
I must
we want to be
deeper
we don't
queue,
need. Right? I understand that maybe we were trying to get that cannon. Unfortunately, we should have used our W there. But we definitely want to be queuing this whole wave, and then when the queue returns to us, then we W. That's the best way to clear as Ahri. Because that way, you're last hitting these guys with your execution damage. That's or the range creeps, right? Because we're level 6, actually, it'll be the range creeps. But yeah, we really want to be queuing the whole wave. And I mentioned that one time, I think I mentioned that, but yeah.
Yeah, it makes such a big difference, right? And like your ability to reset, like how long you're stuck in lane and like everything. That's one thing I've like personally, like the last couple of days, I've been very strict with my, like wave clear in that sense. And just like, as the waves crash, trying to queue it and get rid of it as soon as you can.
Getting a
But yeah,
Q,
everything
getting your
else,
Q
like,
out super fast isn't important. It's the quality over quantity on abilities.
yeah, like as I mean, like as the waves crash, like if you get a nice fat like the whole wave queue,
Yep.
and then you're like kiting up as you like finish the backline with your W autos.
Yep.
I think that's like the most optimal like roam setting, because that's what you really want as Ahri, right? Delete the
Yeah.
wave and then make something
Yeah.
happen.
Even a couple things I noticed from watching Chovy and how he farms, is he will walk up and he will auto this, then Q. He won't
Because
even.
his breakpoint, yeah, he needs to the auto end, doesn't he?
Yeah. So he will just auto them until when they're ready to die, and then these will be slightly lower, and he will just Q. It'll come back. The W will actually execute these.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
That's really specific though. Like I just focus on making sure your Q hits the whole wave, man. That's the more important thing.
Yeah, I've been pressing the Q before the wave touches the middle, and then it doesn't reach the back ones. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
It's super important that those hit the back ones. Was there anything else on this one you had questions about or comments?
No,
Notes?
no, no. I literally like I wrote down like the whole like R angle, but like you ended up covering that. Everything else, you ended up saying. Like
Okay.
I'd write it down and then I'll put Z because you mentioned it, and I'm like the rest is all Z's. But yeah, like that was it. Like level like wave one intention and like a little bit on like the jungle identity and then just Qs on wave.
So, what do you take away from this VOD? What are you going to do next time or learn that is better from what you did this time? Do you want to focus
I'm
on
gonna
your E usage? Do you want to focus? I think adding the like Q and waiting up's pretty easy, but I think you want to focus on one thing. And what would you like that to be out of everything that we said?
You mean for my personal learning
Yeah,
objectives?
pick one. Pick whichever one you want. Like I said a lot of things in this video, but I don't want you to focus on all of it. You can come back. This will be on my YouTube channel. You come back, rewatch it, and pick something else. Like what I would do with my reviews with the coach is he'd point out a bunch of different things, and then I'd go and I'd be like, oh, I see that. I want to work on that for my next like 6 games, and then I focused on working on that, and then I maybe watched the VOD a couple days later, and I'm like, oh, he pointed this out. I want to work on this now that he mentioned during my game. So what I want you to do, and you can say whatever one now that you like, but I'd like you to pick one thing that I said. Just focus on it. Focus on that one thing. And what is that one thing that you want to focus on?
If I had to choose, it would be the holding abilities.
Holding abilities. Great. So when you do your future reviews by yourself, I want you to think about how could I have made them panic? And what did I get out of using this ability? Was this charm high value? Or what is the effect of my using the charm? Were they able to walk up because my charm was like now they know my charm's down? Or if I would have had my charm a little bit later in this fight, could I have gotten like a team fight winning charm? And did I really need to charm in the lane here? Right? Because if a jungler comes, was I safe to use this charm? Do I know where the enemy jungler is? Right? Stuff to think about there. Just think about the consequences of using your charm and making people panic.
Okay,
That'll make
those
sense,
are
man?
some interesting questions. Yeah.
Awesome.